Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to talk about more of my book collection, and today I'm going to talk about books that have to do with celebrities. So I'll just jump right in and get started. The first one I have is actually a book called The Kardashians. And this is by Jerry Oppenheimer. I have not read this book yet, but it is not about the women Kardashians necessarily, but their father and his story. So I heard somebody talk about this book, and that is why I decided to get it, and I am excited to read it. The next books are about the Kennedy family. That is another topic I really enjoy reading about. The first one is White House by the Sea, and this book only has to do with their life in Hyannisport, and it's very interesting. It goes into detail about a lot of different Kennedys and their life in Hyannisport. Very interesting if you're interested in the Kennedy family. This next one I have not read. This is about Rosemary Kennedy, and I am very excited about this book. She, if you didn't know about Rosemary Kennedy, she is the oldest Kennedy daughter, and she had some mental problems, but I don't think they were really that severe. At least from what I know, I have not read this yet. But her father had her get a lobotomy, and then she was in an institution for the rest of her life. So I think this will be a sad book, but I am interested in reading it, and I think it will be a very good book. Now, this next one, I actually listened to Cheer Denise, who is a channel who reads different books. I watched her read this book, and it was incredibly juicy, called Ask Not. And this is about Carolyn Bessette, Jackie Kennedy, and some of the other Kennedy women. It is so good. It is very juicy. I found out a lot of stuff that I had never heard before reading this, and I just loved listening to it, so I had to buy it myself, and I will be reading it soon. And so I got this next book, Ethel, because I also listened to Cheer Denise read The Other Mrs. Kennedy, which is another book for a long time was going for $300 on Amazon, even used, which is just crazy. But it did go down to $25, and that is when I picked it up. Actually, my husband got it for me for Christmas, this year. So I don't actually have it yet. He's gonna wrap it and give it to me. But I thought I was never gonna be able to get that book, so I ended up getting this book, Ethel. I have not read it, but I just find Ethel Kennedy, along with the other Kennedy women, to just be really interesting. So I'm excited to read this too. I always say that, I'm excited. And then this is one of the books I mentioned yesterday, Jackie O by Lady Colin Campbell. This book was so good. It was about Jackie Kennedy's life from when she was a child to right after her divorce from Aristotle Onassis. I'm not exactly sure when this book was written. I guess I could look it up. But so it doesn't go up to her death or anything. But it was such a good, interesting book. I will definitely read it again in the future. So those are all of my Kennedy books. also my husband got me another one for Christmas about John F. Kennedy. He asked me, for books, a list of books I wanted, so that's why I know. But I am very excited to read that, to get the other side to, what I think Jackie's story was. So I'm excited about that book. Next, I have 2 books on Marilyn Monroe. One I have read, the other I have not. The first one is Goddess. And once again, I do not have the slipcovers on these books because they're just so much more beautiful without them. I like the pictures in the dust covers, but for display purposes, I think they look so much better without them. And this book is called Goddess, and it's by Anthony Summers. This book was also one I could not put down. I never really had that much of an interest in Marilyn Monroe until I watched a Netflix documentary about her. And then I watched the movie Blonde on Netflix as well. And I just found it really interesting and fascinating. And I just wanted to find out more about her from, a more detailed interpretation, I guess. So this book was incredibly good. Very well researched, and I just really enjoyed it and thought it was very truthful and just a lot of good information, and kind of like might get rid of some conspiracy theories if you read this. I don't know. And then I also have Marilyn by Donald Spoto. I'm hoping I'm not saying that wrong. I don't know. I have not read this yet. I kind of like to break up how I read my books. So, like, I just read that Jackie Kennedy book. Actually, first I read Goddess, and then I read the Jackie Kennedy book. Now I'm reading Britney Spears' The Woman in Me. I haven't finished it yet, but it's pretty quick, so I don't think I'll be reading it for too long. But, so I have not read this, but I will be reading it in the future. The next one goes back a little farther into the past. This is about Consuelo Vanderbilt, and it is called Glitter and the Gold. And I bought this after I watched The Gilded Age and kind of started doing some research and watching some documentaries about the Gilded Age, and just became fascinated with that. So I got this, and I have not read it yet, but I'm excited to read it. And isn't it just so beautiful? The detail, that's what I mean. The dust cover hides this. Next books are 2 books that I read right after I had my daughter, and I was kind of going through some postpartum depression, just changes after you have a baby. And these books really helped me feel better, kind of realize every woman kind of goes through that, and so I found them really helpful. And I put them under this celebrity category because they're written by Giovanni Fletcher, which is Tom Fletcher's wife, and he is in a British band. So I just kind of lumped her in with celebrities. But I loved these. I was going to read this one, which is called Letters on Motherhood. And then Giovanni Fletcher's Happy Mom, Happy Baby. And they were just both very good and really informative on motherhood, and really make you feel better about maybe some of the feelings you have after you have a baby. So those are all my books for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you would like me to talk about any of the books in more detail after I read them, or if I already have read them, I would be happy to do that sooner. But please like the video and subscribe if you would like to hear more ASMR to relax or learn about some books or just whatever I have coming up in the future. But thank you for watching. I